For the life of me, I don't understand decisions that a lot of these people are making today when we talk about diversity and things along those lines. So Rebecca Aguilar, who is the former president of the Society of Professional Journalists, she posted this a few days ago on her LinkedIn page that struck me as odd. She says, is the Society of Professional Journalists following the Trump agenda by wiping out diversity efforts? After more than 15 years, the Dory J. Maynard Diversity Leadership Program has been canceled. It was a decision made by Emily Block, the outgoing president. The program was named after Dory J. Maynard after she passed away in 2015. I knew Dory very, very well, folks. She was a well-known journalist who committed her time to advocate for diversity in newsrooms and SPJ. She was one of my mentors in the program in 2010. Her dad also, Robert Maynard, was the publisher of the Oakland Tribune. The leadership program gave journalists of different backgrounds, race, religion, LGBTQ, disabilities, the experience of a national conference, MediaFest 25, and mentors. The outgoing president also never staffed the diversity committee, putting an end to it too. We all know the importance of these SPJ programs. They make an impact. I chaired, let's see here, I'm gonna pull up the next one. I chaired, let's see here, hold on, chaired the program, They Make an Impact. I chaired the committee and organized leadership program for more than 5 years. When I was SPJ's national president, I made sure everyone felt included. I knew the organization was changing when it elected me, the first Latina and woman of color, to lead the organization in 112 years. But since then, it has lost more than 2,000 members, according to insiders. My hope is the new president, Chris Vaccaro, will reevaluate the decision and bring back the committee and leadership program. I'm sharing photos of past fellows who have gone on to do great things in journalism and other careers. I made sure we even had the program during the pandemic, during the SPJ conference was online. And no, money was not an issue to keep this program. It was funded by the SPJ Foundation that currently has at least $16 million in the bank. Okay, that's what she actually wrote there. And she added, you all know I fight for all journalists and help you get jobs, but diversity matters too. Please repost. Info is power. Also, if you were at MediaFest 25 this week, find the incoming leaders and ask why and where they stand on diversity. This is the thing that we're seeing right here, Niambi, and we're seeing this in journalism. We're seeing it in academia. We're seeing it in business. Donald Trump, and I predicted all this in White Fear. What you're seeing is you are seeing white folks showing their true colors. Mm-hmm. The people who actually believed in these issues, they're like, all right, so y'all tripping on names? We can change the names, but the mission ain't changing. But it's a lot of people who never really believed in these programs who are like, oh, good, we ain't got to do that bullshit now. We straight. We can go do whatever the hell we want to do. That is what we're seeing, Niambi.
Oh, absolutely. And I think there are a lot of people who Donald Trump gave them the permission, right? He gave them the opening so they could do the things that they wanted to do, like roll back these efforts without appearing to be racist or homophobic or misogynistic or whatever they might be, right? And so there are a lot of people who have capitulated very quickly because, as you rightly point out, they never wanted to do this in the first place. They view it as a burden. They don't really believe in the value-added proposition of more diversity, even though by every metric, it makes organizations and professions better, more innovative, and it makes people happier, right? Like people generally feel better when more voices are at the table. Yet there are people who felt like, hey, I don't need to do any of this. I understand what the issues are. You can hear people throw around terms like ideological diversity because they don't think diversity means that in a broad sense, it only means race or it only means gender because they don't care about any of that. That's the stuff they don't want to do, right? They don't want to do racial equity work. They don't want to talk about it. They don't want to be made uncomfortable. And they certainly don't want to have anybody challenge their power or bring more people into those institutions that are going to call them to the mat on their BS. And we know how these professional organizations can operate just like academia and other places. They can be very cloistered. The leadership can be very short-sighted and white-focused, quite frankly. And so they wanted to do this anyway. Trump gave them the opening. They can do it without seeming racist. They're just going to, comply a priori with no sort of implication.
Yep. I mean, you just said the permission. So check this out, Niambi. Go to my iPad. Look at Gannett. Gannett will stop publishing diversity information, citing Trump's executive order. The company also removed mention of diversity from its corporate site. I'm sorry, Rebecca, Trump's executive order does not compel a publicly traded company to do this. Now, mind you, Gannett's America's largest newspaper chain. And this what makes this even more despicable. Al Newharth, founder of USA Today, he was the CEO of Gannett. He was the one who changed the industry when he said, we're going to be we're going to be the most diverse media company in the country. He said, I am going to tie your promotions and bonuses to diversity. And if you don't like it, you can leave the company. And by that action, he forced Gannett to change. And every other media company had to keep up because they were losing minority talent. And so I don't understand what SPJ is doing. And so the new president, and I'm vice president digital for the National Association of Black Journalists, trust me, he's going to be hearing from me because this is idiotic. That why would you get rid of a leadership program that has been effective? And shame on Emily Block, who was the president, for making this decision. Oh, and the new president, he was a vice president at the time. So I wonder if he said anything. He's the president now, so now it's on him. Rebecca?
Sounds like they're committed to blandness and they're committed to mediocrity. That's what I hear out of that statement. I almost want to say it really burns me that people think that people of color, especially Black people, don't bring something to the table, that we aren't smart, we aren't brilliant, we don't over-index and overperform. Like, quite frankly, to have us on your team, you're getting great value and you're getting a hell of a ROI. So to hear them walk back and say this, it's like, have you ever been in a fight? Have you ever learned how to take a punch? So what? The president put out an EO. So what? You don't want to get attacked? Well, guess what? He's going to attack everybody. So at this point, stand with everybody else. Like, you can't punch all of us at the same time. So, okay, good luck with that. I mean, really, tell this president to go to hell at the end of the day.
This is the moment where we see who is for real, who are real allies, Larry, and who were performative.
Yeah, I want to go to Rebecca's point. You know, some people have never been punched in the face before, and you see it, right? They get a jab and they're ready to give up. The reason why that is, Roland, that these spaces, Niambi, I know, and I noticed some higher education, the ivory tower, they're not built for us. We're not supposed to be there. And there are even these very moderate or liberal, individuals who don't want us there, and they may vote. They might consider themselves to be progressive. This is all centered in white supremacy, and that's just the bottom line. They don't want to see us there. They certainly don't want to see us accomplish more than they have, because it forces people to think about their identity and their place in the world. And this is a story that's been written in this country for centuries since our first enslaved Africans arrived here, our ancestors. But this is rooted in white supremacy. That's the bottom line. They don't want to fight because they didn't want us there in the first place, Roland.
Oh, no, they didn't want us in the first place. SPJ, y'all be hearing from me, and NABJ. Trust me, you will.
Hello, I'm Isaac Hayes III, founder and CEO of Fanbase, and I'm here with a very important message. We are at a turning point in the Black community where we must have equity in the apps we use that scale to billions of dollars. But this time, we own the infrastructure, we own the culture, and we shape the future. And Fanbase is the future. Fanbase combines the free functionality of Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube into an all-in-one platform built for the evolution of social media and monetization. With over 1.4 million users, that's real proof that we are shifting the conversation of tech ownership and equity for creators. So right now, I want you to go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. The minimum to invest is $399. That gets you 60 shares of stock in Fanbase at $665 a share. This marks a turning point in Black ownership of social media. If we don't take this opportunity to own social media right now, we will always be customers to our own creations. And that can't go on. So once again, go to startengine.com/fanbase and invest today. We must own the platforms where our voices live, our stories matter, and where our culture drives the world. Thank you.